is Julia. I am half Japanese, half Malaysian, and I was born and raised in the US. And then I moved to Japan about 2 years ago, so I've been here about 2 years, and I'm a college student. I'm Elena. I'm half Japanese, half French, and I grew up in Japan. I left Japan and lived in America for about 5 years, and then left America to live in France for 5 years. And I studied here at KICL to get my Japanese levels back because they suffered because I was taught for 10 years. Is there like any specific reason that you wanted to get back into Japanese? Because it's part of my cultural heritage and I wanted to know the language. Because everyone always tells me, oh, you're trilingual, but I can't read or write in Japanese, so it felt kind of dishonest. I think my speaking levels were also stuck in a childlike state. I definitely do feel that because I don't really talk to my mind in Japanese, that, like you said, like the childlike state of Japanese in a way, I never use like business.
Yes.
Before I came here, you know? So that, like, you probably feel this silly. It was so hard to get used to that, and even right now, I don't get used to it. Like, I just use decimal everything pretty much.
I think the good thing about not using decimal is that you can create some kind of artificial closeness with other people.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you consider me friends for all your friends.
How do we talk about like growing up in a different country but being half Japanese? I feel like France is a pretty diverse country.
Yes, but not like very diverse about Asians. It's more diverse like Middle East and Africa. The thing is your face, it's like you kind of half look like you belong there, but you also half look like you don't. So it's like, do you truly ever belong anywhere?
Does that like create any problems now that you're in Japan? Like the way you look?
I don't think so. I think just most people assume like maybe I'm a tourist and they talk to me in English. I'm like, I mean, I can talk in English. Like, Japanese might be simpler, and then I speak in Japanese, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were Japanese. So sorry."
My experience might be a little bit different. I am half Japanese, but I'm also just like from the Asian. So I think appearance-wise, I can't really tell that I'm half Japanese sometimes. And I would say that my Japanese pronunciation is pretty good. So if I were to talk to someone for the first time, like a Japanese person in Japanese, they probably like won't know at first that I'm like not really Japanese. So that kind of like creates another problem where it's like they think that I'm perfect in Japanese, but I'm actually not. Do you think when you were younger it was like easy to stay connected to your Japanese?
When I was younger, yes, because I was born and raised in Japan. But I did go to an international school, which did make it difficult to relate to other Japanese kids my age. We had one class in Japanese, which was like grammar and kanji, because that's necessary, but it still didn't mean I couldn't get along with them.
Let's talk more about like after you came to Japan. I feel like maybe you've had this experience before, but you are studying a topic. Maybe you like are so like, oh, this is so hard. Oh, I hate blah blah blah. And then they'll be like, but you're Japanese.
Yes,
Like, have you said this to you?
yes, it's like the midterm test. I was like very panicked about it because I didn't know enough kanji, and I was really worried about how I could learn all this. My classmate was like, "Oh, of course you won't fail. I'm definitely going to fail."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but just because I can speak well doesn't mean that like you will automatically fail. It's a bit hard because they don't see our problems because it's not as visual, I think, as their problems. Because when your pronunciation is good, they assume that you can speak it very well. Because pronunciation, I think, is like the last little bit that makes you polish your language up. And since we already have that because we're talking to like native people, as in our mothers, basically, but like it kind of masks all our difficulties, and I think even the teachers sometimes don't know what we know and don't know like what we don't know either.
And I also have to think like, part of me wants to say, but I'm not Japanese.
It's like you have the genetic part, but not necessarily all the environmental factors that like would have you be Japanese in the true sense of the word. Because we are still Japanese, we're just not completely Japanese.
Yeah.
That's the point of being half. We're half. We're half good at it.
I would love to hear someone's experience who grew up in Japan and then being Japanese too, though. I have a couple of classmates in college right now who are half Japanese, but then were raised in Japanese their entire lives. So they like don't even speak English.
Yeah, that would be interesting because their main part would be being Japanese, and the other part would be the small part that we have actually would be switched.
I think we were able to talk about most of the things we wanted to talk about. You had a good time in Japan. You know, I did. And it's really nice to be able to experience diversity in a different country.
Yes.
Because it is still diverse, but in a different way. Thank you for doing this with me.
The time.
Of course. This will be it. Thank you. Bye.